Hey, welcome to another episode of Ask a Photo Pro. It's your favorite episode of the week. It is Real Photo Reviews. And you know, I've been a professional photographer for 33 years. I photographed Kanye, Pharrell, DMX, Colin Firth, Michael Sheen, Sandra Oh. I've photographed a lot of celebrities. And I've also had some ups and downs in this career. I've literally almost lost it all a couple times, but I've managed to, in the last few years, really shift my mindset to the point where I can actually say that not only is my business thriving, my business is singing. I'm here to help you with your business, your photography business. I'm trying to help you. If you're an emerging photographer, if you're a struggling photographer, if you are an underpaid photographer, if you're a photographer who's still charging by the hour instead of charging by the project, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you see the light as far as your photography career. And I do it through these immersive live streams. So thank you for tuning in to this immersive live stream. Today's episode is very specific. Every week, I give an assignment, and that assignment is to help the photographers who are members of this channel. Like, by the way, if you want to submit, if you want to be a part of this whole system, you have to, you got to submit. Hey, look at Scuba Steve. Let's go. Carty crew through and through. Like, Scuba Steve, you know, I didn't even turn my smoke machine on, my guy. But thank you, Scuba Steve, for becoming 5 months of photo reviews. Vicky Sonic coming through. Like, Vicky has been around as a member also since I've had members on this channel. 9 months. Let's go, Vicky. Gotta tell you, the support that I get from the photographers that I'm helping, like, I help. And because I help, like, I try to be pretty selfless. Like, what I get back, I get it back in spades, they say. So thank you, by the way. And I'm Carty, in case you were wondering who's the man behind the sunglasses. It is me, Carty. I've been outside and I just also, I'll take them off at some point. If it bothers you, leave me a comment and I'll say, okay, hey man, chill out. I'm just I'm trying to be Volandes every once in a while. I'm allowed to have a little bit of cool, you know? You guys know how I love sunglasses. I'm allowed to have a little bit of cool. And again, who'd have thought that who'd have thought that, like, yo, by the way, I'm 53, yo. Like, I'm 53. And I'm telling you, man, like, your personal style, I'm going to be getting so much into, like, personal style and, like, how we choose to, like, wrap ourselves and how we choose to package ourselves. Like, if you saw me walking down the street, you wouldn't know my age other than the fact that I have a little bit of gray. And, like, I move with grace and swag. You know what I mean? So you have to move like an artist, like a creative person, with grace, with a little bit of attitude. It's necessary because that's how we actually get noticed. I hope this has grabbed your attention. Because I am ready for my favorite show of the week. This is called Real Photo Reviews. And as mentioned, how you submit is you become a member on the Discord. The Discord is probably one of the smartest things I've ever done, which is gather a group of photographers that are trying to get to the next level with their photography and put them all in one place. Dreadfully blessed, coming back for 6 months. 6 months of photo reviews. Dreadfully blessed. Let's go. Seems like it's review season, and it seems like it's renew season. Let's go, guys. Thank you for renewing your memberships. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's get into the photo reviews. So the whole vibe about this, this particular photo review run is I gave you a self-portrait assignment. Hey, jeez Louise. I don't even have my whole set ready here. I gave you a self-portrait assignment. Stay tuned. Doing this live, by the way. I gotta have all my ambiance. You notice my little new light bar there? Let me know if you like that little light bar, little accent thing, you know? Trying to make this set nice for you to look at. Had to push in a little bit of color over the, oh my goodness, my live sign. Holy crap. How are you guys gonna know that I'm live if you don't have a live sign on? Like, you might think that this is pre-recorded. And also, look at the monitor over there. Hey, look at that. Trying to just, you know, adding things as we go. We're adding, making it nice. Our first submitter says this. Hello, beautiful people. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hi, beautiful people. I shot this assignment for 2 days. I shot this assignment for 2 days, but it wasn't until I got my new 85 that I was able to get a satisfactory result. I photographed myself in the corridor for over an hour because my girlfriend was training in the living room. It was only when she finished and I looked at her that I was able to take a picture of myself where I was genuinely smiling. Sony A7 IV 85. ISO 100, 7.1 at 2/50th of a second. This is Sebastian K. Sebastian Kawaka. Let's go, Sebastian. Thank you for submitting, my guy, Sebastian. Sebastian with the selfie, my guy. This is so good, and this is so real. Like, I'm about it. I really like the framing, and you know, the fact that you're not making eye contact, but you're looking off just a touch, you know, it doesn't actually bother me. It doesn't bother me at all because it's like you're looking at your future. And I quite like this. This is a win for me, Sebastian. I like this a lot, my guy. This is really good. This is really good. It's editorially sound. It's cropped beautifully. There's good focus, and it's real. It's real. And if I blow it up and look just at the sharpness of the eyes, the exposure, it's great, dude. This is a really great shot. And for me, it's unapologetically, authentically you. So for me, that's a win. Definitely. This is an 11 and a really great way to start this episode. Way to go, Sebastian. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, this camera needs to move little that way. There we go. That's a bit better. All right. So let us get into our next photographer. Guys, that was Sebastian. Thanks, Sebastian, for submitting. All right. Our next shooter is Spoonman. Spoonman says, mine also took 2 days to put together because I messed it up drastically. But what I did and what I could do with the space and time I have. This one's titled Want a Spoon? I took it with the Sony A7 IV with a 50 f8 ISO 100. It's funny how long a photo can take. I had the idea the moment you gave the assignment, but it wasn't until today that I was able to bring it fully to a finished photo. I wanted more spoons in the picture, but they kept falling off the ceiling, so here you go. Big love to the Carty crew. I'm excited to check out all the other photos. Oh, and the main light was an 80 watt from GVM, and the backlight was a GVM panel. This is the one they call Spoonman. Let's go, Spoonman. Thanks for submitting. I really like this, man. I do. I really like this. I feel like this is kind of on the button as far as who you are as a creator, who you are as a person. And again, the framing, let's look at this as a cover. I mean, other than the fact that you're kind of framed like a little low in the frame here. I don't mind it because again, you have things hanging from the ceiling, and the want a spoon, like this, we know what it says, even if there's a spoon in front. The fact that you had to take away all these wires, like this is a technical picture and good exposure here. I'm going to call this exposure like plus a third. But overall, like really good exposure here. I like the hand gesture because you're kind of emphasizing now the want a spoon. Really good light on your face, man. This is a win for me. I like this a lot. This is really good. I mean, could you have stepped on apple box and been a bit higher in the frame? Absolutely. You could have stepped on an apple and been a little bit higher in the frame, but does it matter? No. Is it work? Yes. Does it work as an 8x10? If you need to punch in and make this an 8x10, does it work? Absolutely. Does it still convey the message? Absolutely. So for me, Spoonman, this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well done. Let's go. All right. All right. The smoke machine is alive. It's alive. It's alive. Alive. Oh no, dude. What have I activated now? Oh my goodness. Now I can't hide from this camera. Jeez Louise. See, I have all these glitches. And again, I give these glitches, I give control to I give control to you two to be able to like do all these glitches to me. Not you two, like the hundreds of you that are members of this channel have control over the stream to be able to do all these glitches, which is like, yeah, you guys do enjoy yourselves when you do that, don't you? I love it. All right, let's see our next submitter. Mike Frost, let's go. Hey, Carty crew. I've been meaning to jump into the Discord for a few weeks now, but I'm staying consistent now. This self-portrait was shot in my photography studio near downtown Orlando with a Canon R6 85-14 Sigma art lens, 1/60th of a second, 2.8, 2/50th ISO. Shot with two 600-watt studio strobes. I normally shoot around 200th of a second, f8 or above with studio portraits. You shot this at 2.8. All right, let's have a look at Mike Frost. Mike Frost, like I did some one-on-one portfolio review with Mike Frost ages ago, and it seems like Mike Frost is back in the mix. Mike, if you look at my portfolio review like page on the Carty Method, you'll see a clip from our portfolio review, my guy. Let's look at Mike Frost. I'm sorry for holding you. Let's go, Mike Frost. Well done. I like the sensibility. I like the glasses. Really good sharpness. You know, a couple of dust spots on your hat that you can take away, but the style, the outfit, the like this, you hit all the marks, my guy. I like this. Look at it as a cover. Let's make sure I'm seeing the whole picture. Yes, I am. Let's look at this as a cover. This is nice, man. Like, listen, there's something to be said for the non-distracting background. Like, I've articulated so many different times that magazine covers are usually non-distracting backgrounds, like usually always. And they're shot in such a way that give space. Look at how this formats as a cover. And we have the main heading. And then we have here, Frosty. You know what I mean? And then it's like in this article down here, and new latest things for menswear down here, and it has the date that that this magazine came out right here. And now this is a magazine cover. So there's a reason why we shoot on non-distracting backgrounds. And there's a reason that I preach it. Mike Frost, you nailed this. This is really great. I like the treatment. I want to work again with you to make sure that like you're on track. I haven't seen your work or talked to you for months. Yeah, Mike, let's talk. This is really fantastic. That was Mike Frost, everybody. Mike, thank you so much. By the way, you can subscribe, eh? Subscribing is free. If you like my straight up approach, and I don't know, I'm just like, I'm a different kind of creator, honestly. Like, I'm a photographer first, and I'm like, I'm not really a YouTuber.
Treat everybody like a superstar. Famous people less like a superstar. I treat famous people like real people. I started as a photographer, I would say professionally, when I was 20. My brother's a fine art painter, heavy influence on me, and I couldn't paint, so when I discovered the camera, it was really easy for me to express myself creatively. Everybody's in the business of glorifying celebrities, so capturing them, it's already glorifying them by photographing them. So if I can get them a little bit more understated, I feel like it brings up the real. In 1997, I shot Tom York from Radiohead, most important picture of my career. In 2001, I shot Kerix Williams for Peace magazine. Again, very important picture. Colin Firth, a week before he won his Oscar, career moving pictures where that picture propels a whole new wave of clients, a whole new wave of people looking at my work. I think pivotal career-changing pictures are more important than favorite pictures, because they're all my favorite. The whole idea is make good stuff and share it and do it every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mike Frost. Just so you know who you're talking to, just so you know who's talking to you, and just to hold your attention. Because again, like most people, when they're watching long form content, they have about a 20-minute attention span. Like about a 20-minute attention span. Like I've had a 40-year attention span for photography. I am in right now my 40th year anniversary of shooting photos. I shot my first photos when I was 14. 14 years old was the first time I shot with a 35mm professional camera with interchangeable lenses. By the time I was 15, I was in a school in a photography program. I took that photography program all the way to graduation. That teacher showed me Vogue magazine. Before I graduated high school, I had shot models. Between high school and university, I worked at camera stores. I was such a shy kid. I went to a modeling agency with my portfolio. The modeling agency laughed me out of the room, like literally laughed me out of the room. That story changed me. Like, they looked at my portfolio and was like, oh my God. They went back in the office, in the boardroom, and all of the agents together looked at my portfolio, and all of them, I could hear them laughing through the walls. And then she came back, she closed my book, and she was like, whew, needed that laugh today. Here you go. And then walked away from me. And I stood there like, oh my God. And then I had a meeting in the afternoon with another agent, and I was going to cancel. I didn't cancel. I went because I was going to be a photographer. That agent opened my book and she's like, whew, your portfolio's bad. But have you ever seen a portfolio before? I'd never seen a portfolio before. She showed me what a portfolio looked like. And she said, have you ever seen a photographer's portfolio before? Had never done. And she showed me a photographer's portfolio. Literally like angels flew out of this guy's book. And then she started giving me models to shoot when I was 19 years old. So I went pro when I was 20. I went to photography school again. I went to a university level, like ended up being the best in the school. Ended up shooting my first magazine cover when I was 23 years old. Shot Tom York from Radiohead when I was 26. Like I've shot Kerix Williams when I was 31. Like I've had an insane career. And I've had people guide me the whole way. Guide me. Art directors, other photographers that were advanced further than me. Guide me. Help me with pricing. Help me with all these things. But now there's nobody that's doing it for creators today. There's nobody that's helping creators in this way, the way that I'm trying to do it here on YouTube. So if you're with me and you're feeling this vibe and feeling this passion and this energy, subscribe, because I am dumping my brain here on YouTube for the smart ones to decipher the stuff that I'm telling you so you can build a 33-year career like I have. All right, let's get into Tom Fox, people. Tom Fox is our next photographer. Tom Fox, let's go. Thanks for submitting. This is good, man. I like the vibe. I like the sensibility. Small mistakes that I want you to be wary of when it comes to shooting not just self-portraits, but portraits in general. You have to watch your top space because we are shooting 8x12. So this way is 8 inches. This way is 12 inches. So because of that, when we go to print, we lose this, which is 1 inch, and we lose this, which is 1 inch. Or it's 2 inches on one side, or blah, blah, blah. Whatever, we're losing an inch and an inch. And that becomes your 8x10. So your keys that you were framing so beautifully down here, and the little bit of space that you're giving yourself up here, it's not enough. It does work as an 8x10, but it becomes claustrophobic. And you can see how this works when it comes to a magazine cover. Like your head is touching the masthead, and then the art director has to do like a little cutout and then cut your head out like this and then put the masthead behind you. And like, it just ends up being like, it's a little claustrophobic. I do see what you're doing with the leading line here. I definitely see what you're doing, but I'm seeing like a barrier here. So this is distracting. This as the context to what we're doing here, with us just really trying to focus here on you, like the way the horizon line of the trees goes through your head and it's one color, the way that this is a different color, the way that down here is a different color, and down here, like it starts to be, when you fragment it, Tom, it starts to look like it's several different pictures, because you see here is a photo, and then you see up here is a different photo, and then you see up here in the sky, it's kind of a different photo. And then the brick is like another photo. So for me, this is the wrong location, or it's the wrong use of this location. The way that I would shoot it is flat on. So you're just using the brick as the background, and you're not trying to show leading line. Like you're trying to add too many composition elements in one photo. And I know the level of photography that you can do. I know how high end that you can shoot. I think that where you lost me here is, like, I like the pose, but I feel like you have to do this in a corner, because if you do it in a corner, then you're able to have a flat wall behind you and something that's flat that you're leaning on. So does that help you? Does that make sense? Yeah, so this, I'm getting a question. I hope, so let me, before I answer your question, Steve, does this help you, Tom? Like for me, small things that you have to work on fixing next time is watch your headspace. Your head should be dropping like around here to give ample room for it to cut to an 8x10 if it needs to, or for the masthead to go to if it needs to. Also, try not to do 3 photos in one. We have an element here, which is its own photo, an element down here, which is cut directly at the 50% mark, which is kind of simple. Again, like you're an advanced photographer, so you have to do advanced ideas in order to make it match. And with the parking lot lines and down here, it just seems like it's not a completed thought. Down here, seeing green is distracting. And then this extra block that just is basically also another photo is also in this photo. So I feel like this is a miss for me, especially knowing how complicated a photographer you are and the level of pictures that you can do. This one isn't at the same level as the rest of your photography. So for self-portraits, You got to go ham, my guy. You got to go ham. Thank you, Tom, for submitting. All right. Next photographer. This is Mercedes McKinley. Let's go. Call me Santa. I really wanted to get into the school studio for this, but it was booked up for finals, so I chose this spot from one of my photo walks in my neighborhood. Shot with a 70D, 50 millimeter, shot at f2.8 at 33/20th of a second, ISO 125. With a tripod and remote app on phone. This is Mercedes. Mercedes, I like the crop. I like the crop. It's swaggy and I like the attitude. I want you to see this as a double page spread. And you see when I lay my overlay, this shows you what this looks like as a double page spread. And it's definitely swaggy. It's definitely neighborhood. I feel like there's a couple of things that you can be doing. First of all, if you have a lens hood on your camera, turn the lens hood around so it's actually on it like it's supposed to be on it, not like it's on it for, I don't know. If you have a lens hood, and especially a plastic lens hood like this, actually use it. I have them on all my lenses. I use them every single time. Use your lens hoods. They actually improve sharpness and contrast. So don't have your lens hood on flipped backwards unless you're storing it. Soon as you're shooting, flip your lens hood around. Next thing, it's a little croppy. It's a little tight up here, Mercedes. Like it's too high to the top of the frame. And when this goes to print, you're actually only going to get to here because you lose 1/4 of an inch. So basically 1/8 of an inch all the way around the frame. So you're losing part of the frame. And also it's so close to the center, meaning that your camera goes into the gutter. So the gutter meaning the center of the frame, your camera is now going to get squished as the magazine pushes down this way. So you have to have the gutter fall here. So you're basically pushed over that way. And if you need to, cut the page here. So it's small things, but the frame, but the sharpness, the light, like you've improved so much here, Mercedes. Like this is a huge step up from your last self-portrait. My only big thing is this whole thing of the house in the background. I wish that wasn't there. I don't mind the road and the crack and this kind of vibe is cool, but I just want to see this in the background and this in the background minus the house. So watch your cropping. Don't be so claustrophobic up here and give yourself like a little bit of space. But Mercedes, this is a huge level up. This is a huge level up. I know that you try super hard, and I want to tell you, I see your progress. This was a huge jump. So again, do it again. Do it again and do it again. All right. That is Mercedes. Guys, let's go. If you're running a photography business, especially if you're doing that and juggling photo shoots, I've got something that might be a game changer for you. It's called Indie. And trust me, it's like having a personal business assistant, only it's affordable. First off, imagine creating eye-catching project proposals super easily. Indie helps you do that so you can impress your clients and get more gigs. Plus, there's these ready-to-go contracts which are a breeze to sign thanks to electronic signatures. No more paperwork headaches. Then there's the task management part. You know how you have to keep track of a million things? Indie has a great to-do list and digital tools that let you visualize your work and keep everything super organized. It's really helpful. Invoicing, Indie's got you covered. Send out professional invoices and estimates and let your clients pay through options like PayPal, Stripe, Zelle, and even pay you by check if they need to. Working closely with clients, Indy has the cool client portal where you can chat, share files, and keep everybody in the loop. It's like your project command center. You don't need to use Google Drive. For those of you who are still billing by the hour, there's a time tracker that logs how much time you're spending on each project. Talk about making life easier. And then there's extras like file storage for your photos, customizable forms for all your client interactions, and a calendar that gives you a bird's eye view of your schedule. Here's the kicker. With my promo code CARTY35, you can get 35% off your first year of Indy's Pro plan, which works out to be about $7.80 a month if you go monthly, and an even better deal of $5.85 a month if you pay annually. It's $5.85. So if you want to focus more on the creative side of your business and less on that stuff that you don't like doing that much, Indy is your go-to. Click the link in the video description, use my code CARTY35, and watch the magic happen. Give it a go. See how it works for you and watch how it transforms your business. Thanks so much. Scuba Steve, I saw your question, my guy. Don't think that I forgot. Scuba Steve says, I know that you mentioned 8x12 for the vertical crop, but it's not a standard option when it comes to Lightroom. Do we need to make a custom crop every time? Scuba Steve, 8x12 is the native 2x3 proportion of our cameras without any cropping. It produces an 8x12. That is the framing. So when you hear me saying 8x12, that is a 2x3 proportion. So when I say 2x3, it doesn't register the same way that 8x12 to 8x10 does, because the 8x10, which is the 4x5 proportion, is Instagram. So double 4, 8, double 5, 10. So it's the same 8x10 or 4x5 ratio. So our cameras shoot native 3x2 ratio, which is a 4x6 natively, or if you double 4, it's 8. If you double 6, it's 12, which is an 8x12 natively. So when you hear me say our cameras shoot 8x12, you need not do anything to find that preset. It just means do not change the original ratio. If you don't change the original ratio when you're cropping, it maintains that 2x3 ratio. Does that help you? I hope so. All right. There's another question. It's Joss. Steve got a question. Yeah, I got that. Thank you. I did see it, but I get ranty. This is passion that you're feeling here. I kind of just get into these explanations, and I definitely did see. All right, let's look at Dana. Dana says, here's my submission for the week. I only have one functional camera body, so I modeled with my very first camera I inherited with my grandpa. Amazing, a Canon T90. Shot with my Nikon D810 with a 50, 5.6, 160, ISO 6.4. This is Dana MK. Dana, thanks for submitting. Let's go. Wow. Let's go. I like it. Yes, if it's not clear, I like it. Let's look at this as a cover. Let's look at the dappled sun. Like, this has got me smiling. Oh my goodness, with the glitches. Every time I look, you guys are glitching me, man. So yes, Dana, this is on the button. Like, I like the no eye contact. I like the checkered bottom of the sole. I like the outfit, the light on your face. You have dappled sun. And by the way, guys, if you don't know what dappling is the sun coming through the trees, where you have shadow here and sun here. Shadow here, sun here. Sun here, shadow here. This is called dappling. In case you do not know the term, now you know. This is called dappled light. Okay? So when you're shooting under dappled light, it's really tricky because your face can't be in dappled light because your exposure goes all over the place. And you've managed to drop your face, Dana, in the best spot to just give you a little bit of dappling that's happening here, but a little bit of sunlight happening here, and you've maintained no burnout. You have a little bit of highlight up here in the forehead, but that's completely normal, acceptable, and perfect. This is right now an absolute 11 and a high contender. I'm very, very, very much liking this picture. Now, elements here, these lines, this thing, oops, my line, that was a badly straight line. This here, like, these are not what I would call distractions. They're texture, because this is white on white. This is white, and this is also white. Down here, this ground, he dropped this horizon line so low, it's not going through his body. It's like, this is just executed so well, Dana. Thank you for this. This is absolutely an 11. That is Dana MK. Thank you. Banger. Again, I'm telling you, man, like, submitting photos. Like, who else is doing this on YouTube? Who else is doing this on YouTube? Like, literally, so many people just pluck me off the internet. They book a 15-minute chat with me through my Carty Method website, and then they're talking to me. And it's like, I'm telling you, I've had some of the best conversations in the last month with you about your careers, your direction, and I really get a lot out of it. Matthew Sargent. I never thought I would love grow to love self-portraits as much as I have, but it's been some of my best and most creative work. Happy to make an updated portrait. I hope it meets your expectations. It's surely hard to meet my own. 75mm f4, a 13th of a second, tripod remote shutter, ISO 1600, and using Lightroom noise reduction. This is Matthew Sargent. Matthew, thank you for submitting. Matthew, this is a real, it's like a different sensibility for you as far as confidence, as far as you presenting yourself not in character, like just you being you. And I do really appreciate that. There's a couple of things with light that, I would definitely, again, each time you go in here and work this vibe, you're starting to get like a new energy. Of course, I want you to watch your eye line and how high up here your head goes to the top of the frame. Again, we know it becomes very difficult for you to be on a cover when you're hiding the masthead. Next, we are losing a little bit of detail back here because of your light placement and your camera placement. The camera's a little lower, so you're aiming up on yourself just a bit, so you're actually not able to get, and then your light's based on the placement in your eye. I can see where the main source is, which is at eye level, and because it's at, and then you have a secondary source down here coming from this level. So because that secondary source here is actually pushing this shadow, which you see tracing across your face here, it's actually pushing this shadow, which is the shadow from your nose here. And also it's giving you that uplight that you now see this shadow here. It gives you that, like when you hold a flashlight under your face, like at Halloween, like, ooh, we never light ourselves from under. We always light ourselves top down. I have a main light here that's lighting me, that's giving, it's coming from one side of camera. So you see this nice little bit of shadow on this side, but you can see that this is my main light. But if I turn this way, now I have perfect Rembrandt lighting with that little pocket on my face, and the nose shadow I'll show you here. And the nose shadow like going down low with just this little pocket here. If I look this way, right? And as I turn forward, it's more, shadow here, blah, blah, blah. And as I turn this way, it's more front light. But it's always from the top. So anytime you have an inclination to have your light low, don't do that. It makes really weird shadows on your face. So that's something that I notice. And again, the highlights tell all and shadows tell all. It's also pushing this shadow from your shirt collar here onto your body instead of pushing it underneath your shirt, which is what would happen if it was coming down. But then also, so you have it pushing up here, but you have it underneath there, which is like sort of top light, down light, which is what happens when you use two sources. It's like there's only one sun. So one main source and all of your other lights come from behind you. That's lighting 101. One main source. And then everything else comes from behind as like accents and rims. And if you want fill, you use a reflector, not a second light. A reflector. So again, you're working through a lot here, Matt. You're working through being in front of the camera again. I know you're a 25-year-old guy who has 3 kids. You have one with special needs. You have not a lot of time to actually execute these things. Next time you do this, I want you to square up, not turn sideways and look this way and have the camera low. I want you to have the camera dead at eye level. The way that you notice I have my cameras, they're dead eye level, and then my secondary camera also eye level. So the vibe is that it makes everybody who's looking at your photo, you're equal, not looking up at you like you're lofting yourself, like you're above them, or looking down at you like you're, oh my God, don't hurt me. So it's all part of the mindset that we get into when we frame people. This is all about framing. So move your camera up to give yourself more headspace. Physically move your camera up to give you a proper eye line. Give yourself some space and only use one light from the front and have it come from up here rather than ever like down here coming at you. Never ever. Good shots, Matt. Thank you. Last look at Matt Sargent's picture. Thank you, Matthew.
Question?
Right. Question? Yes. So why a filter over a second light for fill? I said a reflector over a second light for fill because we're professionals, because we're not hacks. Hacks do that, but we're not hacks. You use, like, how many examples do you want to see? I can show you so many different examples. Do you want to look at Usai? Let's look at Usai. How about that? Let's look at his use of light. Show me anywhere where it's double front light. Only ever one catch light. Let's look at studio photography. One light, one shadow. Studio photography, one main light. Let's look at another one. Usai. Want to go back further? Let's look at Dick Abaddon. Oh my goodness, fastfingers.com. Let's look at Dick Abaddon. The best there ever was. One of. Only one main light ever. Long shadows. It's like, this is how we do it. There is only one sun. There's only one sun. So hacks just buy lights and use them all in the worst way. Pros, clamshell is a different type of lighting, and I would never use clamshell lighting because it's freaking tacky. It's tacky. You use the top as a light, and underneath is a reflector. It's not another light, because it's not 1995. Show me, like 85. Like show me somebody doing double light like that right now. Literally. Like, it's tacky. That's why it's tacky. And what clamshell lighting was invented before Photoshop, when there was no digital, when everything all skin and bad skin had to be fixed with light. That is why clamshell lighting was invented, because there was no retouching. So photographers who had no talent would just blast their models with light, and they would have no skin. They would have nose holes, and that's it. Eyes and nose holes and lips. Clamshell lighting. Is that very right now? Is that very right now as far as a look? Find me that look right now in a contemporary photographer. So, was it a trend? Like, it's look. Like, this is photography. One light from the front. This is Richard Avedon shooting with a 4x5. You didn't see that. This is natural light. Like, if you look in his eyes, you're like, oh, I see two sources. It's like, no. That's a window with Avedon standing in between it. That's why it's breaking the light. It's the photographer. So it's not two lights from the front. That's just a wall of windows. So, like, we have to be able to break down. This is one light, like, again, one light down, lighting her from the top. And you can look at the catch lights in her eyes to see exactly where that single source is coming from. And it's literally right here. Like, he's doing butterfly lighting to give her that, but he's doing it in such a way because she's lying down. That's why there's undershadows here. And he's not lighting this top down because she has darkness on the top of her leg, which means it's impossible for him to be lighting downwards. He's lighting her literally. The light is here, like in a perfect spot to do that face from this position. And he shot this on film with no retouching. So it's like, I'm a master of light. And like, I'm telling you, when I say, like, don't light with two lights from the front, it's tacky. It's because it's tacky. And if you want to be literally a high frequency photographer, you don't like put one light here and one light here and have the subject standing right there and get hit with even light, which puts a shadow that way and a shadow that way. Like, how much sense does that make to the eye to see cross shadows? You know? So, artificial light, it's like, yeah, sorry for that. But again, you see, like, when I say, like, yeah, there's reasons. It's because there's reasons. There's reasons for everything. That all came from me seeing light from Matt's two lights from the front and the placement. But you can see, like, I don't mess around when it comes to, like, how set in my stand I am on certain things. All right, this is Ken Collier. Let's go, Ken. Thanks for submitting. Ken, this, I mean, so powerful. I mean, it has big punch. You shot horizontal. Let's look at this as a double page spread. So seeing this now as a horizontal and a double page spread, it no longer works. Although the light is inspired, you're dropping your second eye on the gutter, which doesn't work. It doesn't crop that. It doesn't work in any other way other than if you were to put this in a magazine. Now you were going to get 2 pages, but now you get 1/2 of 1 page. Because now I can only put you basically, I can only put you here or here with the article down here. because of the way that, because now if I put you up here or up here, there's no issue with the gutter. But you've now gone from a double page spread where you were shooting across 2 pages to now you are now getting a quarter of a page of real estate because of your cropping. Next thing, cutting the forehead. We can cut foreheads all day long. We can cut foreheads and cut foreheads and cut foreheads. But what we cannot cut is chins. Chins is a no cut zone, meaning you cannot cut the chin. It has to continue, and we have to see the rest of the face. You will see this crop in existence nowhere. Like even watch this. Watch how uncomfortable you get if I lower myself to where you can't see my chin anymore. You see, when you can't see someone's chin, it creates this like thing in our brain. Like it's so uncomfortable to watch. Like you see my mouth, but you don't see my chin. So like it becomes a visually frustrating thing. So with your cropping, Ken, that's a scenario where you can't do that crop. This is a no-go zone. Like you could have afforded to cut your forehead all the way down to there. You could have gone that low and brought your chin back. I mean, I wouldn't recommend going that low, but you could have, you could have gone to here and brought your chin back, or you could have brought your camera back just a bit and watched your framing to see that you're actually putting your second eye through the gutter. And in fact, you'd realize that your head is shaped like an egg. Your head is all of our heads are shaped oval like eggs. So when we're shooting, if you look, oh my goodness, wrong tool. When you, our head is shaped like this. So because it fits best in a vertical space. Portraits fit best in a vertical space. So because of that, all you need to do, just turn the camera this way. It solves all the problems. Just turn the camera like this. It solves everything. And you have a portrait. And it's not putting a square peg in a round hole, Ken. Come on, Ken. This is such a sick portrait, but it's like, turn the camera vertical, my guy. Come on. So close, Ken. Thanks for submitting. Yo, Dean Elliott became a member while I was going crazy yelling at Ken for not making his photo the right direction. Dean, welcome to the Carty Crew membership academy. What you need to do now is join my Discord. We're timing you. Link for the Discord is in the description. Download the Discord app. By the way, if you're watching this, download the Discord app. Download the Discord app for your phone. Download the Discord app for desktop and start hanging out there every day. It's a game changer. Ask anybody who's in the Discord. It is probably one of the smartest things I've ever done was creating a photography community. So make sure that you hang out there and hang out there daily. And I'm about to get engulfed in the smoke. And by the way, Dean, when someone becomes a member or when someone donates or when someone super chats or something like that, I like to burn my house down. So that's what we're just doing. We just burn the house down with a little bit of a smoke infusion. Guys, Ken, thank you for submitting. Don't get discouraged by my words. Use those words, weaponize them, and make your next self-portraits better. See you on the next one. All right, let's go. That was Ken Collier. All right, let's look at our next shooter. Our next shooter, how's our time? is Slippy Hollow. Slippy. After a couple of weeks of absence, I'm back. Here is my self-portrait, and I fell in love with the honeycomb. Dude, welcome to grid life. Yo, grid life, yo. Fell in love with the honeycomb grids, shot on my A7R3 with an 85, which is brand new, ISO 100, 125, f16. Slippy Hollow is one of my one-on-one mentorship members, and Slippy, I'm hard on Slippy always. So Slippy's bar is high. Okay, so become a member and make it so this happens to me every 35 seconds, and you can actually control it yourself. Thank you. All right, Slippy Hollow. Let's go, Slippy. Slippy, this is great. I like your improvements happen every time I see photographs, and you stepped away. Like, I had to step away. I was getting I was going crazy. I was starting to get sharp and frustrated. But I'm back and refreshed, as you can see. But Slippy, this is the exact level of photography that I need from you, that I expect from you, and that I hope for from you. The light placement, beautiful. The hard light, beautiful. Jumping into hard light. Look at how hard light makes the highlights on your hair all look kind of sexy. Look at how hard light with that hard shadow actually is really masculine as well as feminine. Look at how it emphasizes your beard. Look at how hard light emphasizes fabric. And when you use a grid, which is a spotlight, basically, that doesn't let any light spill anywhere else other than where it's lighting, you can get jet black, and that background could have been gray. You can have all kinds of stuff behind you when you don't see it because you're shooting at f16 and the rest just blacks out. So this is a hack, and Slippy Hollow learned a hack in studio, guy, without me being there to help you. So good for you. Good for you. Welcome to the, you're starting to understand. I want you to look at this second eye. Like, look at this far eye. Like, this is high art right here. High art. And when you really break it down, look at the little reflector that he has on the second side that's bringing up highlights all on this side. Like, I'm telling you, this is a clinic in lighting from Slippy Hollow, who is literally in my masterclass and also in my one-on-one. Also, small little accent of purple down here behind him, like just giving you just a little bit of extra. So if you're looking down here, there's actually purple light coming down here. For me, this sleeve needs to be fixed. This is totally messy. We definitely look at this sleeve versus this sleeve. Again, that's just an oversight. Also, your shirt looks literally like you crumpled it in a ball, literally tied it in a knot and threw it down the stairs and then opened it up and put it on for this photo. So as far as like your wrinkle factor, Slippy, like this needed to be just a black t-shirt. This needed to be just a black t-shirt. But again, it's like, I'm not trying to I'm just fucking with you. You know that. I'm just taking the bee's knees out of you because the level of progress has gone up so much in this photo. Again, also a black t-shirt gives you more arms, which is a little bit more light to catch rather than this black fabric. And also the black on black, the way that you light it, you get a black shirt and then a blacker background. So that's also kind of nice. And also just your expression, just be a little bit more approachable rather than like dead in the eyes. I just want you to be like likable, friendly. Remember, this is your craft. Remember, you're incredibly gifted at it. And yeah, just work on your expression. But this little nuance that you have happening here, this is what I do. And I keep telling you, no, it's a reflector. And I put the reflector back here, people, out of set, kicking back a mirror of this light. Like, that's the secret sauce. And Slippy figured it out. Good shit. And again, you can figure it out too if you watch some of my in-studio stuff. And again, I'm going to be making more in-studio content to show you. And also, I'm gonna do demonstrations right here. I have a little bit of room. My couch is on wheels. I can slide that out of the way. Put a little V-flat here, and I can do demos right here, no problemo. And also, I have a pair of Jordans that I'm gonna shoot. And I want to just prove to you that product photography is something that you can do at home. So I'm going to take that table and I'm going to light and shoot some Jordans to show you. And I'll do it live so you guys see how it happens. And I'll do it tethered. So when I'm shooting, the pictures are flying up into the screen. Like, I'll put them in a little box down here. So yeah, that's all part of the reason that I moved to this new space, so I could do some more interactive stuff. I could shoot portraits and show you, and then also more stuff in the studio. It's necessary for, like, whenever I do studio shoots, I'm going to continue to do those secret live streams for my members. So when I'm shooting in the studio, one of the benefits of being a member is I do private live streams for members only, that you get to basically watch the live feed of the entire shoot. I don't talk to you, but you get to watch me work. Like, you get to be on a fly on the wall and see me on set with clients. So that's a little secret thing that I do from time to time with the right photo shoot for my members. So definitely good incentive to become a member, because that's going to be happening ongoing throughout the spring and summer. So all right, that's Slippy Hollow. Let's go, Slippy. Thank you for submitting. Big upgrade in work, and for you, taking a break really helped you. So step away if you need to. DC3. So this is DC3. He says, just a picture of myself taking pictures of my camera. I had to improvise as I forgot my tripod driving into the mountains. Luckily, I was able to find this really cool sculpture at a scenic nature in Colorado. Shot with a 24 f9 at a 500th of a second, ISO 500 on my Fuji X-T5. Okay, this is Doyle Daniels. Let's go, Doyle Daniels. Thanks for submitting. Let's go, Doyle. So, did you shoot this into a mirror? I'm so confused by this picture. I don't think that this is a mirror. I feel like you're holding one camera and being shot with another. Anyways, your framing is great. I'm not going to worry about the technical. Your framing is very good as far as your double page spread. You're definitely getting a handle of your composition when you're shooting horizontally, so I appreciate that. I like the sweeps that's happening here. This sweep is really great. Where this is dropping kind of through your head is where it starts to get distracting. And then, of course, now the trees and everything that's happening up here in this quadrant becomes another photo. So this, and also now, because you're shooting in such a way that you're shooting into the light, now the camera sees everything that's happening up here, and the camera automatically says, oh my God, that's too bright, and then starts decreasing your exposure into the negative spot. So what ends up happening is here that we need to be exposed properly ends up getting not enough exposure. The stuff over here, down here, that we need to be exposed properly ends up not getting enough exposure because the camera sees this and gives us the proper exposure for this, which you can see this is perfectly exposed. But that makes now this is now under by, I would say, 2/3 of a stop. 2/3 of a stop. So next, the horizon line, I would put you here in some way. So I would move from here to here. So your head now is up here in that circle, and your camera is looking outwards, and you're looking out of the frame rather than having you on this side of the frame with your camera this way. So it causes us to then follow this sweep see you, see your camera, and then go through the rest of the picture. So I feel like your opposite day, that needs to be on this side, and then figuring out a way to frame so you don't have this huge other block of other picture in the same picture. Also, the hat hands up makes it so there's no light on your face. So you're actually completely hiding. And again, I see in your glasses what it is that you're looking at. For me, what's back here is way more of an interesting background, what you're aiming at, rather than what you're showing me. So I would completely flip you around and then put you in this scene that I see so beautifully in these glasses, instead of this scene that I'm seeing here with these trees. That's my vibe for you, DD. I hope that brought you value. DD is a new submitter. Keep submitting. Don't stop. It only gets easy when it's like it becomes second nature. For me, I've been doing it for so long, it's second nature. But yeah, it's like, but I also continually go out and try to always hone and tune. Shooting self-portraits are hard. That was Doyle Daniels. It's going to take a second, Doyle. Give me a second. It's going to take a second. Storm coming. After many, many photos and many, many changes of the light. One at 45-degree angle on the front and one at my rear left. I finally got this picture. Sony A7 III on a try. On sticks, on legs, 150th f5 at 400. Tamron 28-75 shot at 36. First time ever really taking so much time for a self-portrait, but I enjoyed the entire creative process. This is Storm Coming. Storm Coming, thanks for submitting. Thank you. Storm Coming has pre-cropped this for us to 8x10. I like this, there's a nice sharpness. It looks as though you did a little bit of post-production underneath the eyes here. It looks like you tried to do something under here, and I see so, which means your blending is bad. Which means, again, if you don't have this, which is a Wacom pen and a Wacom tablet to do your retouching, if you don't have experience with retouching, and if you don't know what you should be doing with retouching, you have to be very, very, very careful. Because at this size, when it's small, you don't really notice that. But I do, because I know what faces look like. And I'm like, hey, what's going on underneath this eye? And as I zoom, that's when I start to see like basically repetitive brush strokes underneath here on the nose. I see a little bit happening down here possibly, or I'm completely off my rocker. And I also see something happening over here. So I want to make sure that if you're doing post-production, you're watching some content, you're watching some of my content on like how I do my post-production. Looks like there might be some highlights possibly taken away here on the nose. So I want you to be hyper with like what you're doing in post-production. Beyond your post-production, this is a great portrait. Beyond your post-production, this is a great portrait. And again, spending so much time on a self-portrait is necessary, because like no one else is, unless you're paying someone to shoot portraits like this of you, like you really do need to practice being on camera and being in front of the camera and learning that like, wow, this is a process. Your light, let's look at your light. Let's follow your nose shadows. Your front light is in a safe spot, but it's high. So it's putting your nose shadow in an okay place. It's giving you like some nice shape underneath the brow. it gets too high, it starts to do weirdness under the chin and here on the nose. If it gets too high, you have a nice shadow line here on the side of the face, which is nice. It's totally fine. I would have gone a little bit more radical. I would have dropped the light a little, maybe call it an inch. So this nose shadow pushes this way a little bit, and I would have gone this way with the light a little bit back around in order to push this nose shadow a little bit longer, and then join this shadow here, which would give me nice Rembrandt lighting and literally nice even light on that side of the face. Also, the camera is low, so you're aiming, you're revealing too much under here. That's a sure sign that the camera is too low. You're shooting underneath your chin. And again, you want to shoot square up so people are able to look at you this way. You know what I mean? And it's like when your head angle starts to go like to up, now the camera's down here, you're seeing under here. And it's like, I always try to tell people, put your head on a table. So you go like this. People, when you put a camera on them, they pull back. So this is you now. And what guys do, and I know this camera's on, but I have to demonstrate, so you need to see a profile. But what guys do is we do this. Every guy in a camera, like Kennedy, they go back and to the left. So guys are like this. Always. So what we have to do is focus dead straight at the camera. And the camera has to be at eye level. And then I say, extend your chin out and then put it on a table. Like there's a table there. Because then it extends and tightens all the muscles down here. So people who have double chins, it makes their double chin go away. So you push like this, and then you drop your chin down. And then if you hit it at the right angle, you get that like rock jaw. It's not this. It's like that. That's how you look at the camera. So again, the more self-portraits you learn, the more people that you direct, the more you learn exactly that body language that I'm showing you. As far as your tone, like the tone is nice. I like the blue shirt. I like the color balance. Like, I just want to see more of the work. And again, I would love to see this again with less post, if no post. Watch your shadows, because your shadow slider, you seem like if the shadow slider is here, you went that way, like way high. So now down here, and it brings like, it starts to take your lighting away if you do too much on the shadow recovery. So I would bring the shadow slider down just a little bit, and it actually just, it makes the, it just makes it oomph. And then exposure, your exposure here is plus a third. I would drop that down. That's like, you know, plus 0.3. It's a little bit, but it's enough to notice. So it's just overexposed, just a touch. Very, very well. That is Storm Coming. Thanks for submitting. All right. Are you guys bored of me yet? Are you still with me? Are you still engaged? Waiting for your photo to be looked at? I hope so. Let's see how many more we got. You know what? I don't like to do that. Let's just keep going. Oh. Jana, sometimes I can't help but play dress up, which I decided to do in my self-portrait. Roses represent my photography business brand, which is my middle name, Rosa. Shot this with my new 85 that I just bought on the weekend. Shot with a Nikon D7500, 85 ISO 400, f11, 1/25th of a second. This is on Jana Rosa. Let's go, Jana. Thank you for submitting, girl. I appreciate you. Jana with the submission. Jana, this is nice. This is nice. I mean, I am going to go deep and look at what's happening above your hairline, but before we do that, let's just look at the framing. Your light is good. Your light is good. It's really good placement. Good placement. I mean, I'm going to really break down your light actually, because I think that you're using a strobe and a ring light in the background, because I see this ring light in the background. So I see your main here and your main, but I also see this ring light. I don't really think that this ring light is actually affecting your exposure, especially where it is, but the fact that I see it in your catch lights, I feel like it shouldn't. Slow down there, buddy. I feel like it shouldn't be there. So that's one thing that I'm noticing is that. So make sure you don't have any other sources of light or anything like that in your backgrounds. Other than that, the light on the face is nice. I think like I would have lit you more, like put the light directly behind the camera. That would have dropped the catch light right up on the top instead of at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock where it is right now. Because as far as the light on your face, it's actually making no difference. It's making no difference. What it's doing is putting a little bit of shadow on this side, a little bit more shadow on that side, but it's really not doing much. Now, here's where it gets crazy for me, is what is happening up here in the hair, Jana. Like, you know, we all have very good eyes, and you know, we all have incredibly insane monitors, and I can see where you're cleaning up your flyaways. And when you're trying to clean up flyaways this way, it's like it only works when you're in areas like up here where it can look like it's a little bit, but once you start getting down here where this is like a spider web of hair that you're just taking away, it's just, now it looks like you're taking yourself off one background and putting it on another background. It looks like a cutout, and that's not what you're doing. So when you have like a big blub of hair, like you have to fix it. And when you have bleed, like I see retouching, like healing or cloning bleed, because you're using a soft edge, it's bleeding right into your hair here, and I completely see it, and it's happening all the way throughout your entire head. And that's just like, when it comes to hair against a background, two things. Number one, fix the flyaways before you shoot. Speaking of, it's like my girl's got blonde hair, it's everywhere. Fix the flyaways before you shoot. You have to, because you can't fix them, especially in a situation, blonde hair, black background, or like you with black hair, pink background. Like it's so contrasty, it becomes something that you can't, it makes this so hard to fix. So when you're in this situation, just let it go. Like let the flyaways be, you know what I mean? Like just let them exist there. Or you have to like pick your hair out and make it a different style. So you're, in this case, your hair fills the whole frame. So you make your hair bigger in the front. So when you're framing this, you can frame this in such a way that all of this is just afro. Do you know what I mean? Rather than how you're trying to clean it. Or again, where you're dropping your eye line, if you look here, where you're dropping your eye line in the frame is relatively low. You just frame it in such a way that it crops the top of the picture here, which still is fine because you can put the masthead in front of your hair and it also works. And you just prop your hair up to basically fill in these gaps. And then you just have a full hair photo and your hair becomes the background. Next thing, watch the eye line with the camera. Again, based on where the camera is positioned, I'm seeing underneath the chin and your chin is up. So it's that your head's up, and you can see, if you look at me with, this is how your head, I'm trying to get your head at this angle, your head is at this angle. So now I'm seeing so much of underneath your nose, like I'm seeing under here. And if the rose wasn't here, I would be seeing under here as well. So the roses are like too high. The roses can be lower when your head angle is at the right angle and when the camera is at the right height. So small corrections here, Jana. Again, the quality of the 85, I'm sure you're noticing. Once you went to retouch, you were like, oh my God, because it's so sharp, right? Like, so because of that, that's even more reason why you can't do this business now. Like, you couldn't do this before, but this is just showing, okay, yeah, like the flyaways, you can't take them out in post. So stop thinking that you can. And if you're going to do it, just take away the outer flyaways. Don't try to get down and make this perfect matte hairline. Like this isn't even a hairstyle that like, look at the flyaways that you see all through here. There's flyaways that you see all through your entire head. So why would then there not be flyaways up here? You know what I mean? So it just yeah, this is like black girl stuff, but like, it's like, you know what I mean? And again, you have to just prop it, make it more full, and be okay with the flyaways. I hope that helps. That is Jana Rosa. Let's go, Jana. Thanks for submitting. All right. We have Donna. This is my self-portrait taken with the Canon Rebel 50mm at 30th of a second, f11 at ISO 100. f11 at 30th of a second. I would go like a 60th of a second, f at f8, because you understand, like, every time you twice your shutter speed, you're halving the exposure. Right? You're halving the exposure if you go from a 30th of a second to a 60th of a second. So because you're halving the exposure, you compensate with aperture. You open your aperture up a stop. And that means going from f11 to f8. So you can't handhold a 30th of a second. Not with a 50, because it's less 1 over the maximum focal length of the lens. If you're shooting with a 50, that means you don't shoot less than a 50th of a second. And you don't need to shoot f11. You can shoot f5.6, which meant you would have got 125. So you have to understand, it's like it's like a scale. As you like lower this, you increase this, and it always keeps you with that equal exposure. I mean, the way that I was just raffling this off, if you didn't understand that, you have to go back into like understanding your apertures, shutter speeds, and ISOs and how they relate together to make up exposure. So this is Donna's self-portrait. Let's have a look, Donna. Let's go. Thank you for submitting. All right, Donna. So the 30th of a second is what's giving you a little bit of that camera motion. There's just a little bit of shake. The F11 is giving you really good depth of field that's so good that I actually see the wall behind you tack sharp. So much so that I see the flecks of dried paint that were in the roller when the painter put paint on your walls. Like, that's how much depth of field that you have. I don't think that you need f11 when you're standing up against the wall. Now, what you do need is a shutter speed that's not going to create camera shake. So, and also making sure that you can nail your focus. And it looks very much like it's on camera flash, but then it doesn't look, because you have a different light that's happening over here. So I'm confused because I have this light, which is a little bit off center. Very interested in the lighting. As far as the framing though, Donna, like, you're nailing it with the framing. I'm also noticing that this photo is skinnier than a 4:5 proportion. I mean, a 2:3 proportion. This is not a 2:3 proportion. This is
too narrow based on this length. That's not, our cameras don't shoot that way. So you either free cropped, meaning made the picture skinnier, or something, because this isn't a 2x3. This is more like a I almost want to say 2x4. Like it's like a 2x3 and a bit. It's not an exact. So you took off like a little bit off of either side. And I can tell because when I put my masthead up, I had to redo my masthead. I had to change the proportion because where it should be is there, which tells me that's the rest of where your photo should be. So you can't free crop. Your photos have to be like 2x3, 4x5. They have to be known proportions. You cannot just make them however wide you want because that's how you like it. Like, so that's one thing that I think you're missing on this picture is the free crop. And again, your settings. You said that you shot at 1/30th at f11 at ISO 100. So imagine you go from 1/30th to a 60th, which means you take away one from like 1/30th at f11 equals 60th at f8, also equals 1/25th at f5.6, also equals 250 at f4, also equals 500 at f2.8, also equals at 1,000th of a second f2. So you choosing to shoot at a 30th at f11, these are all the other readings that you could have shot at still at ISO 100. Those are all the other readings that you could have shot at still at ISO 100. Or you could have done it this way, gone to ISO 200 and done 1/60th at f11, gone to ISO 400 and done 1/25th. 125 at 400. Like you at 800 you could have done 250. That's just by changing the ISO. So these formulas, these aperture shutter speed combinations equaling the same like the same exposure, this stuff that I learned when I was 14. I had a handle on this when I was 15 years old. So you have to have a handle on this. This has to be second nature. And when I get readings like f11, when you don't need f11, you don't need f-stop here. You need shutter speed here. Like when I see those are mistakes where it's just understanding these calculations. This is not a situation where I need infinite depth of field of f11 like I'm shooting a landscape picture. I only need 5.6 because I'm shooting an in-studio picture, or f8 or f4 even. Like all of these readings would be more than acceptable. So Donna, lock everything that I said, lock all that stuff in. This is a lovely portrait. Also, watch your proportions and no more free cropping. In fact, you are banned from cropping. I want to now see every frame that you shoot exactly how it came out of your camera with no cropping, because I'm going to teach you how to frame better, which is going to make you a better photographer. I hope this brought you value. That is Donna. All right, Donna Cranshaw. Let's see who's next for us. What's our time like? Oops. What's our time like? We are at 7:30. We're trying to, I serve the people who serve me. So you guys serve me photos. I serve you photo reviews until I'm done. I don't really stress too much about the time. Colin of Arresting Photography. Good evening, Carty crew, you enforcers of excellence. This is the first time I've ever tried to make a self-portrait. I specifically wore this shirt I got a while back in Florida because I think it has personality. And I wanted to make it a bit of a product shot too. My hair, my beard, my Gandalf size eyebrows, my lazy eye that makes me look like a madman, all accounted for. He said he's 1/4 Wookiee on his father's side. Nikon D5600, 50mm, 1.8 ISO 100, shot at f11 at a 50th of a second. This is Colin from Arresting Photography. Colin, this is a freaking great portrait of you, man. This is great. This is great in all your oddities. This is fantastic. Small things I'm sure that you've heard me say to earlier people. Watch your camera position so you're not getting too much underneath chin. Watch your head angle so your head's not up too much. So you're framed, like it just makes your jawline a little bit. But the light, dude, the Rembrandt lighting, you just nailed this light. Like you nailed it perfectly, like really, really perfectly. I want you to watch your post-production so you're not going too far in definition, because I know that for sure in Photoshop or in Lightroom you slid the texture slider and you slid the the clarity, maybe it's clarity and definition, like you slid those like a little bit, which defines everything. Like it literally defines all your lines in your hair. It defines all the lines in the beard, but it does do a little bit of weirdness to the skin. It does it does a little bit of weirdness in the contrast, and essentially it's an effect. And I want you to watch it. Don't go too far. I like to keep my clarity and texture at 0. I try not to go too far. Again, watch it, because in a while we'll look at this and be able to see it so quickly, and you'll realize it is and was kind of a bit of a trend, like maybe 5, 6, 8 years ago with photographers. So just watch that so it doesn't go too far. This was pulled back a little bit further. Amazing. The Tom York eye is like, I mean, I photographed Tom York. You don't need to tell me about lazy eyes. It's like, it's part of your character. And funny enough, it's because you're turning part of your, like, you're looking into your left brain. You're looking into the creative side of your body, the creative side of your mind. That's how you maneuver through the world, is partially looking inward. So that's the science of it. Julie, one of our viewers, also has that issue, and she's an incredibly talented photographer, like just like insane. Julie Lagovska. So my love to Julie. So Colin, this is a win for me. This is a win for me. I like this a lot. It's a fantastic portrait. It holds up. It's an absolute banger. I could tell that you cared a lot about it. The light is inspired, and it's great. Just watch your head angles and watch your texture and what's the other thing? Texture and clarity in post-processing. Well done, Colin. You guys feeling me? Whew. Feeling me? Whew. You know, I've been sitting here for a minute. Oh, I don't have a drink. There we go. I'm sponsored by ginger ale.
High quality content.
You know, it's the champagne of ginger ales. I don't like champagne, but I'll tell you, it's the only ginger ale I drink. I'm just kidding when I say I'm sponsored by ginger ale. I just drink a lot of it. All right, let's go into Vicky Sonic. Vicky says, I thought for this assignment it would be best to show me and my face. I took this where I'm the happiest, in the woods with no shoes on. Of course, I had to add my props in case no one knew that I'm the space person. Just kidding. This is me. And thank you much, Stephen C., for putting up with me and helping me pick my photos and making sure I didn't just mail this in. Vicky shoots with the Nikon Z6 to the 2, Z6 Mark II, 50mm, 1/60th of a second, f3.2, ISO 100. This is... Whew. Vicky Sonic. Let's go, Vicky. Thanks for submitting. Vicky, this is you in your happy place. like completely you in your happy place, and seeing you like basically thrive, evolve, turn into a completely different person since our time together. Vicky was the first person through my mentorship program, like that I started from my YouTube channel, and seeing her light, seeing her shine, just seeing Vicky completely become Vicky is beautiful. Vicky runs the Instagram account. She's an incredible like wedding and engagement and people photographer. She's got multiple self-directed projects going on, like all of these things that I helped her it's almost like I had to give her permission to do through our mentorship. Like we're coming up on a year, Vicky. It's been a year since we did our mentorship. It was last May. So it's nice. And I like the background. I like the fact that you chose this huge rock. I like the fact that you lowered the camera. Again, your head angle. Watch your head angle so you're not going too like up and back, because again, whenever we're shooting anybody like under chin, it's hard when we're doing self poses because we don't know what we look like. You know what I mean? But my advice always is square up, turn your head dead straight, stick your chin out, and then put your chin on a table and try to hit yourself at like a straight angle. But again, Vicky, the level of comfort, your props, your clothing choices also are it makes your clothes almost invisible. It's more about your energy and the props. So for me, this is a win for me. This is great. This is great. Well executed, Vicky. Thank you. And again, you didn't mail it in. You don't really mail things in. Like, that's not your personality. I think sometimes you make mistakes, but everybody's allowed mistakes. We all make mistakes. So I don't ever think that you mail things in, by the way. Other people, if you're mailing something in, I just call you out. I just call you out right there. So this is Cynthia Lily. Cynthia says, good evening. Here's my self-portrait submission. Making this photo was much harder than expected. Shot with a Sony a7 III 85 ISO 100 at 100th of a second at f2.8. This is Cynthia Lily. Also, Cynthia and Mike Lily, they're a couple. They're a pair. They are roaming around the world and making photographs. This is Cynthia. Let's go, Cynthia. Let's look at this as a double. You know, your composition here, like, you absolutely nailed the like dropping your face on this side, centered perfectly on this page. You've also got this additional frame that you shooting through, which is very clever. Exposure is good. The exposure on your face here could come up like a third, you know, plus a third maybe. But I love the idea. The only issue is where the gutter falls with your camera. So for me, it would be, instead of this hand coming through here and holding this camera here, you unbend your elbow and you have your camera up here in this space. So essentially you're only framing your face and you're not dropping the gutter right through the center of your camera. But Cynthia, this is such a close picture, and I know why you shot it horizontally, because you couldn't shoot it vertically and get the whole frame in. It wouldn't work properly with that. So I understand why you framed it the way that you did, but I'm sure now that I'm telling you, all you needed to do is not try to include this camera in the frame and put that lens up there. Just unbend your arm from being like this to being like this. Just open that space, and now this camera is on the second page, and now we have a double page thread. I giggle because, you know, you have to laugh at yourself when you're going through these processes, and like you also have to laugh at how fast I see the simple thing that you do to like make this photo like skyrocket, you know. But again, your exposure, your sharpness, like let's look at the sharpness. you know, and you can see what I mean when I say the exposure in your face in here is just a touch dark, but something you can fix in processing. It's not a thing. It's totally easy breezy, but I like it. You get wins from me. You get wins. You get an 11. This is good. Good shit. That is Cynthia Lily. Well done, Cynthia. All right. I love, like, a couple watch me, husband and wife, both photographers, both submitting, both getting better, and I'm coaching them both individually. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's amazing. So that is Cynthia and Mike Lilly. All right. And here comes Mike Lilly. Mike said, wanted to try something a bit different this time around. Top-down self-portrait, anyone? Top-down self-portrait, anyone? Bueller? Shot with a DJI Mini 3 Pro, 6.7 millimeter, f1.7 at a 30th of a second, ISO 100 at 18.5 feet above ground level. Thank you for your indulgence. This is Mike Lilly. Mike Lilly's portrait. Let's go. Like, as far as creativity, as far as going a little bit beyond what the average person would do, the fact that you have my drone business on your t-shirt, that, like, look at the discipline in the framing, the way that this bottom goes right into that corner. I mean, you know, when we're doing an 8x10, this is our frame. So we kind of got to let go of that theory, because that's what an 8x10 looks like. But the diagonal composition, the cross composition is genius, Mike. Genius. Like, truly, this is one of my favorites of the day. Good focus, good expression. My smallest little bit of critique is, like, the distance here. I just wish this distance was just a little bit narrower. I wish I had a little bit more, I wish your elbow went about here. You know, I wish, like, you were just down a little bit in the frame to just give me just a little bit more room for my masthead, because, you know, I want to put the date of the magazine right here, what issue it is. I have all kinds of space down here. So again, I just wish that you were a little bit lower, not that far, only I just need you like this distance lower, which is like an inch. It'll just buy me like a little bit more space when I'm doing layout. But again, you're learning how to make interesting, compelling frames that stop the scroll. This better be on your Instagram like tomorrow. This is an absolute banger. This is Mike, husband of Cynthia Lily. Well done, Mike. Really good. All right. So, again, like, I see improvement and it makes me so happy, because improvement is what we're trying to do here. We're really trying to, like, just raise the bar, you know, raise the bar with, like, if no one's challenging you, if you're just a photographer and you're just shooting on yourself on your own and, like, learning via YouTube and that kind of stuff, like, who's telling you that's amazing? That's garbage. If no one's telling you, it's just you judging amazing and garbage. And sometimes, especially for a newer photographer, you're the worst judge of your own work. The worst judge, because you don't have the experience yet. You don't know yet what is great that comes out of your camera and what is absolute garbage that comes out of your camera. Absolutely forgettable. You don't know that yet. So when you have somebody guide you with, like, what is amazing and what's forgettable, it just, like, it's like when you're pulling your arrow back to, like, let that arrow go. Imagine having someone behind you just, like, just correcting to make sure, oh, okay, there's my target. Okay, now I can let go of the arrow. Like, that's all I do. I'm just, like, just tuning your radio, you know? And it's not, and if you're not open for somebody coaching and helping you become better, How are you going to like work with an art director, work with an editor, work with a photo editor, work with clients? Because clients will look at your work and say, it's horrible. I hate that. The light's boring. Like, make it better. And they're not going to tell you how to make it better. They'll just say, make it better. You're not going to know what to do. And I could look at it and be like, oh my God, your client's right. Holy shit. Like this, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, that's me. So what I try to do is I try to help you before you're at the point where you're dealing with clients, because you only get one chance to make a first impression or you ruin your reputation forever, literally. So it's up to you. Like, and this is why there's no mail-ins. Like, meaning once you establish yourself here in this community, once you establish yourself, meaning and how you establish yourself in this community is by putting work on the table. Put work on the table. Doesn't matter where you are. Put work on the table, because this establishes you as far as you might be way higher than you think that you are on the scale of where you need to be. You might be way lower than you think. Some people, photographers, they need an ego deflation, because photographers are the most ego-filled people going. So much ego. So, and on the other hand, sometimes photographers have so little ego that they're incredibly talented, but they have no ego, not enough ego to actually do anything. Like their esteem is so low. They have such a low regard for themselves. They don't know that their work is profound because they don't think anything that they do is great, because people have been telling them they're stupid, dumb, have no talent their whole life, you know? So I play therapist, I play coach, I'm a professional photographer, director. Like, I have my own photography business, but at the same time, I'm like obsessed about helping other people, you know? And like at times I have to take a break for my own sanity. At times I have to not podcast because I'm doing my own jobs. You know what I mean? Like, I shoot for 4 hours. I make the amount of money that I make in 3 months on YouTube. So like, come on. And I make good living on YouTube, but I just make better living shooting photos. This is Durell. I missed the last 2 submissions because of life's stumbling blocks, but I'm throwing my hat in the ring. This self-portrait is something that I had a hard time doing lately, smiling. To turn that frown upside down and shoot. Shot with my R6, 200th of a second, 3.5, ISO 200, and a single strobe. Feels like the first time, he says. This is Durell Scott. Let's go, Durell Scott. You know, I like the energy, and I like the professionalism, and I like the approachability. The sitting on the back step, the fact that you use strobe, but it doesn't look like you use strobe. Like, you made the artificial light that you brought in match your natural light in such a compelling way. Like, it's actually very much a new look for you, Durell. And I want you to go further on this. Small thing is just your framing, my guy. It's just that 8x10 to 8x12 thing that we've talked about a couple of times, and your horizon line for where your head is, meaning, like, not horizon line is not the right word. We'll call it headroom. You don't have enough headroom, and you can see how it's interfering with the masthead of the magazine. The masthead, if you don't know what a masthead is, this is the masthead. Every magazine has their own masthead. It says Vogue, or it says Elle, or it says, like, that is the, like, but there's also another masthead, and the masthead is in the magazine, and it's that page that shows this is the editor-in-chief. These are all the people, the art director, photo editor, like all the people who are in the magazine, and all the contributing photographers, and all the salespeople, and all the marketing, and all, like, they have a masthead. It's like a half a page, and it'll have Vogue on the top, and it'll say editor-in-chief, Anna Wintour, blah, 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 blah. Like, and it goes in order of their rank in the magazine. So there's 2 mastheads. this is the cover masthead. And then there's the inside masthead, which is associated with that masthead that tells you everybody's role within the magazine. So these terms and this terminology and the stuff that I communicate here and the way that I speak, it's important for you to know what these terms mean. So when you're in a professional setting, you can talk about like the masthead. And also, the next time you go to a magazine store and you pick up a magazine, you can open the magazine and turn 3 or 4 pages and you'll see it says masthead, and you'll see all the people who work in the magazine. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't know that. It's like, yeah, because I'm a magazine photographer.
Question?
That's what I do. Yes, Scuba Steve. What about the mastheads that go behind the subject? It just depends on the magazine. Like sometimes art directors find that interesting to like cut out the subject and put them in front of the masthead, and it's interesting. But I also understand that they do that as a problem fixing for us. Like it's a solution for a problem, which is not enough headspace on the photograph. It was created for that. And before that, when they couldn't do that, like it was completely strict rules. Like back in like there was a famous Harper's Bazaar cover with Linda Evangelista where she's holding her hand like this, and the A, like here, I'll show you. I had this magazine. This is why I know it. Let's find it. I like these Harper's Bazaar. Here we go. And again, this is what I mean, is this was a revolution where the magazine, and you can see they didn't, this was pre-Photoshop, but this, like, you can see they just like modified the A just a bit, but it's not a knockout. But this was like a revolution. I mean, now you look at, this is quite standard now, putting the masthead behind. With established magazines, they can do that. But understand, this was the vibe for years. They didn't have the technology to do that, to put the masthead in front like they do now. But yeah, that's just a little bit of magazine 101 for you guys. I hope this brings you value. So, oh, you're very welcome, Shots by Frost. No worries, my guy. Okay, so Durell, this is a win for me. Watch your headspace. Watch your headspace. The energy, the smile, the vibes is all necessary. I'm glad. And I'm glad we talked today. By the way, I talk to my viewers on Zoom. I talk to people who are interested in coaching on Zoom. I talk to people who are on their last rope, who literally I'm not trying to brag, but I give a lot of my day to Zoom chats for free with photographers to just help them get to that, get through that point that they're stuck. It's like, I've had people crying on Zoom chats. It's unbelievable how much this thing that I'm doing is affecting people. And I'm not going to stop doing it because I get such satisfaction and reward seeing people progress. Seeing you get better it's literally it's like the highlight of my life, is affecting change this way over the internet. I love it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my goodness, there's so many more. Let's go. Next photographer is Romeo. My submission is a little about my culture. Yes. Feeling kind of tropical on this one. I'm going to do my best Romeo right now, you know. Romeo say, my submission, feeling a little bit about my culture, feeling kind of tropical on this one, you know. Feeling a little bit of Fujifilm X-T3 with the 50mm lens, you know. With the ISO 160, shutter speed 200, you know. And F11, One Love, Rastafari, Jamaica, Live. All right, this is Romeo. Let's go, Romeo. This is great. I mean, classic AE1, classic Romeo. Let's look at this as a double page spread, Romeo. This is textbook. This is textbook, and I'm giving you all the glory. I'm giving you an 11. I'm giving you the Deadpool love. I'm giving you the black man dance. I'm giving you the black girl dance. I'm giving you the Rasta man dance. I'm giving you the white guy dance. I'm giving you the Latin girl dance. I'm giving you the granny dance. I am giving you all the dances. This is really, really, really good, Romeo. Well done. Well done. Romeo, you get an 11. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say, honestly? Like, good light, good discipline, good focus. I mean, self-portraits are the hardest thing, bro. It's the hardest thing, and you really execute it in a way that is impressive. Look at this photograph, even cropped differently. Look at how it looks punched in. It still works as much as it works this way, you know? So it's good. Watch your post-production, because I see all the little wrinkle fixes that you're trying to do here on the flag, my man. I see all the little fixes that them doing down here on the flag here. And I see all the little wrinkle fixes that you're doing. So you can't hide there. I see all the fixes you're doing over here. You can't hide here, man. You can't hide here, star. Me see all your retouching here, you know. We see all of it. So, Romeo, just watch when it comes to shooting, when you're shooting pure fabric them, you have to use a steamer, you know. You have to steam this flag up. You got to steam it up, steam it nice. You can't shoot them wrinkle flag and think, man, them gonna like get the wrinkles pan out with them Photoshop. You can't clean it. You know, you can't clean them wrinkles, you know. So what I'm trying to say to you, Romeo, is steam your flag. And now that I show you the wrinkles on the flag, you know that, wow, well then that becomes the weakest part of the whole image. The weakest part of the whole image becomes the retouching that you're doing in the flag, because you didn't get the retouching perfect, or you didn't get the flag steamed perfect. Look at this little circle up here. All the stuff that you're doing along here on the line, this little mistake that you made here, like all this stuff, you can't hide from me, man. You can't hide it. So just make sure when you're working your post, like you work backwards. You literally, you look at this flag and you're like, this is wrinkled. This is wrinkled. And you know what? I can't take this wrinkle out in post. I actually can't. And in fact, if I do take the wrinkles out, it's going to almost look like I'm a composite, because you don't want to be a cutout. And then like you actually shot this next to a flag. You lit it. Like this was very deliberate. So if you're going to go that far, you go on Amazon, you buy a $19.99 hand steamer. Steamers are, and in 5 minutes, you have this steamed, wrinkle-free, like it looks like it came from the factory. And then you can shoot it and not do any post-production. Doing it the other way, taking a flag out of a bag, as soon as you unfold it, it's wrinkled. Like you need to steam it. So if you don't have a steamer, this is a little secret. Go on Amazon, and I'm going to show you a steamer that, like, if you don't have a steamer, we have 2 in this house. Like, just buy this steamer. It costs $33. This is the one that I have. Like this, and you can see I've purchased this variation one other time. Buy this steamer. It's $33 with a $2. It's $30. And it folds. It like, this makes wrinkles go away. If you're a photographer, you're shooting a fabric background, you're shooting clothes, fabric, like even for you, like Slippy Hollow, who's walking around with a shirt that looks like you crumpled into a ball and like held it onto your arm and then like did this and then opened it up and put it back on. Like
get a steamer, bro. You know what I mean? They're $30. So it's like, have that and have it on hand. So it's in your camera bag. So when you're on set and your model pulls out her dress and it looks like garbage, you have a steamer and you can just fill it with water, plug it in and be like, here, make those wrinkles go away. Because I'm not doing it in post because it doesn't work in fabric. You can't take wrinkles out of fabric in post. It's a nightmare. So save your time, get a steamer. Get a steamer. That's it right there. That's it right there. Blah, blah, blah. 30, blah, blah, blah. Do that. All right. That was Romeo. And got his Jamaican reviews, you know. All right. Let's get back to our next one. Our next photographer his name's Jason Kerix Williams. Jason says, hello all, this is my first proper headshot. Shot outside at night with a gray seamless background and 2 Godox V1 flashes, one set to the background and one in a softbox. Shot on a Pentax K3 Mark III, 50, ISO 100, 125, f8. This is Kerix Williams. Let's go, Jason. Thanks for submitting, Jason. Jason, this is a strong portrait, my guy. This is saying a lot to me. I like this a lot. I like the no bullshit. I like the no expression. I like the no posing. I like the spiky hair. Honestly, I just like this picture. It like you're just unflinchingly you. And that is so powerful, to be unflinchingly you. Look at how strong Jay's head angle is. This is what I talk about. Like, you notice how you're not seeing under his chin. Look at how it's directly facing him. There's no like looking down, looking up. His eye line is dead in the camera. Jay, this is a win for me, bro. This is great. This is great. Good space. Small little thing is watch your exposure here. Watch your exposure in here. You know, it's a little hot on the 5 head. Just watch that, you know, drop this down a little bit down. Like this probably could come down a third. But without getting too exposed here. And again, it's because of your light placement that you're like, because if I look at your light placement here, right, which I can see that softbox and I can see that placement. So because of that placement, right, you're actually, that's where it's hitting, right? Like this is where it's hitting. So your angle of your softbox, make sure when you're shooting outdoors that your angle of your softbox is hitting, not like, because if you look and if we break your face into like quadrants, if you see here, it looks very much like your aim is here hitting your face, not here hitting your face, based on the exposure difference. And it's the inverse square law. The light is coming from oops, let me just fix that. The light is coming from, crikey, the light's coming from, oh my goodness, third time's a charm. The light's coming from here. Okay, so the inverse square law means as the light is traveling here, if it's going to be, first of all, half or twice as bright if your skin is here, and half as bright if your skin is here. And then as that light continues, it's going to be half as bright again when it gets to here. And as that light continues, it goes on and falls off. So if you think about the inverse square law, where your light's hitting is your light's hitting here first instead of hitting here first, which means we're getting a lower exposure here than up here, which is just means that you have to change the angle of your aim and work on making sure you're hitting your whole face. And then also just watch your exposure and don't let this go too high. And your rear light here, don't let this bleed too much around.
Although I do like the highlight that you're getting here. It's too balanced. Like this light and this light is too neutral. You need this light to be brighter back here, like actually brighter than it is. This now is normal. The light that we're getting here on your skin, I hope I'm not going too deep here, but the light that we're getting here on your skin is normal, and the light you're getting here is normal. So I want this to be plus a third, and I want this to be normal over here. And this obviously is just placement. That is Jay. Jay, this is, I'm sorry I just went on like a technical rant here, but this is a fucking great photo. Excuse my language. I'm not allowed to swear on during my program, but I had to because I got excited. I'm allowed one swear every month. Okay. Yeah, this is your only area where I have issues is right there. But again, it's something easy to fix. I know you will fix it. Show me another. I want to see more from you in studio, my guy. That is the one they call Jay Kerzik. Thank you, Jay, for submitting. All right. Who's next? Said the blind man. Oh, yeah. I still got shit I got to do tonight. My God. This is Andre. Andre said, Carty, here's my submission. Shot at dusk with one speed light, the Nikon Z7 Mark II, 85mm, 2.8, 15th of a second, ISO 100. Keep it classy in the black and white. Let's go. This is Andre. Let's see what Andre's got for us. Let's go, Andre. Thanks for submitting. I like the location, man. I like the location. I like the low camera angle. I like, yeah, this is a win for me, bro. This is a win. This is a win for me. This is a win. I want you to just watch your exposure. Exposure's just a touch dark. It's a touch dark. This is maybe under, I know you're shooting it intentionally dark. I know that. I want you to make sure that, I want you to know that I know that. But even still, it's still overall a little dark in here. Even the fact that you're shooting at dusk, even the fact that you're lighting a little bit of speed light, the fact that you're lighting with a speed light is actually good. I don't like it. It's not, I don't really have evidence of the speed light much other than those catch lights in the eyes, which I don't mind. This is a win for me, Andre. I like this a lot. Andre's in my masterclass. I can really see the progress. I can really see like how like that you're listening. I can really see you're understanding how to shoot double page spreads. I'm really understanding like this doesn't even look like a self-portrait. This looks like a picture that someone shot of you. So that's a huge compliment because it's an editorial photo that you managed to do with yourself in it. It's a win for me, Andre. This is really good. Congratulations. That is Andre Gray. Well done, Andre. Whew. Woo. Wow, guy. And imagine how, this week's assignment, I'm so excited. If you're waiting for this week's assignment, I'm so excited. I'm excited. It's a little bit of an exercise. It's a technical exercise. It's going to be a party. I can't wait to give it to you. All right. Stay tuned to the end. I give you your exercise for the week, your assignment, and I also going to tell you the photos of the week and best in show, which is the best photograph this week. This is Dreadfully Blessings. So I, Dreadfully Blessed, also known as Sean Thomas, came by and hung out with me last week and spent 2 days with me. So he said, I hope everything's well. Do a self-portrait, hey, for the car guy. From the car guy. So the name Dreadfully Blessed seems fitting again. Due to reaching out to Carty, I was blessed with having my portrait taken, so I had a first-hand experience of greatness. Where's the dread, you ask? The dread is in the self-inflicted pressure of trying to now emulate the teacher, the mentor, the sensei. So insert Kung Fu training montage. The student now presents what he's learned. Here's Sean Thomas' first attempt at a self-portrait in the style of Carty. Please go easy on me, Carty. I MacGyvered a living room floor lamp with a pillowcase, so enjoy. Shot with the EOS R, half a second at 7.1. ISO 640, shot at 50 millimeter, 1.8. This is Dreadfully Blessed at a fifth of a second, bro. Let's see dreadfully. Sean, this is good, man. Like, how are you shooting this at a fifth of a second? A tripod? You were real still. This is great. And guess what? I see scissors upon them locks. Mandem might be about to cut his locks, my guy. I mean, again, we had such good reasoning, me and Sean. So if that's about to happen, I know it's about to happen. It's all good. It's all good. I understand, like, I've been having conversations with some incredibly talented artists, and like, I've talked about my journey. I wore dreadlocks for 20 years and then I cut them, and how it changed my life, and how I have more money, I have more success, more everything. And it's like, I'm still a Rasta. I'm a Rasta in disguise. I move like a monk, and you can still see where my dreads were. Like, literally. You can still see on my head where my dreads were. And I still have all my hair. I just choose to be a monk, you know? I just move differently. And in order for us to really, like, succeed, there's a lot of stigma that's attached to dreadlocks, and a lot of stigma that's attached to Rastafari. And it's unnecessary stigma, but you can't change a stigma as a single individual, you know? And I did my best. I did my best for years trying to change stigma. I wore dreadlocks before anybody, really, like, you know, started in the 90s, in the 80s. So I have these conversations with people who find me, who happen to look like me, and who happen to wear who wear dreadlocks, and we talk, we have stories, and I talk about my life before and my life after, you know? And many people are wanting to follow that same path. So this man, this is part of the process. He is showing the scissors coming upon his lock, and look at the confidence in his face. Look at it's not terror. And I want you to look at this calligraphy. You too, bro. I want you to look at this. I want you to look at this too. My man in Florida, is it Daryl? I forget his name, but my man in Florida, you know who you are. There's a couple of people I'm talking with about chopping, and just what it means, and how you become like a completely different person, but with the same, like, I can't explain it, and how the world accepts you, you know? So I've been talked very much about this with calligraphy, and also with my man Sean Thomas here. So this is Sean, about, like, he's trying to be shooting Porsches and like the most expensive cars and Lamborghinis, like, in the world. Imagine, like, you're going to give those cars to a Rastaman, or you're going to give them to, like, again, it's just like, yes, but no, you know what I mean? It's just, it's all about presentation and how the world sees you. So we deal with this as Black people. We deal with this as people who are spiritual, people who are Indian, people who are Sikh. Like, when you have a religious belief, and like, we're persecuted for your beliefs at times, and persecuted for dressing in a religious way. You know what I mean? We wear traditional Western clothing, and like, we have to adapt in order to make it at times in this Western world. And it's sad, but it's just for now. It's not for always. This is dreadfully blessed. This is beautiful, Sean. I mean, I'm giving you all the props. I'm questioning some of your settings. I went through the same thing with Donna, as far as how far you were going on the shutter speed when you had ample room. Other ways, shot a half a second at 7.1, shoot a quarter of a second at roughly 5.6, or 4.5 if you want to actually, or like F5 actually if you want it, but that's just more confusing. So we'll just do it on the stop. Instead of shooting at F8 at half a second, you shoot at 5.6 at a quarter of a second. Instead of shooting at 5.6 at a quarter of a second, you shoot at F4 at an eighth of a second. Instead of shooting at F4 at an eighth of a second, you shoot at F5.6 at, or no, not F2.8. I mean at You know, you just keep making your shutter speed like quicker, and your aperture. And again, you're trying to get all your focus on your locks. I got that, but you don't need 7.1 for that. You were fine where you were. This is a win for me, though. It's definitely 11 and very close to the light that I did with you. Very close to what I did with you. I shared those, by the way. If you want to see the photos that I took, make sure you're in the Discord. Hang out in the Just Chatting. Scroll up. You'll see my photographs of Sean. Again, if you come visit me, I shoot your portrait. All right. G is him. Hello, Carty and crew. I went a little dramatic. Shot with the 1DX 50mm 1.4 ISO 160 125 at f11. This holy shit. This is good, bro. This is really, really good. This is G is him. This is hard, man. Like, are you kidding me? This is great. I mean, I want the lens cap off your camera. That's throw that lens cap in your pocket. The front of the lens shows so much nice reflection in the glass. So you take that lens cap off. But your outfit, the location, the framing, look at this as a cover. Like, this is mean, dude. Like, this is so good. And G, you've been shooting and submitting self-portraits for so long. So you have like an advantage. Like, now your self-portraits are starting to get into the editorial range, where now it's like, now I'm going to start getting you to talk with Vicky, because you need to make a self-directed project. You need to do a project now. Like, this looks like a self-directed project, and I feel like you could actually dive a little bit deeper in this self-directed idea and really turn this like man in the woods taking photographs. Like, you could turn this into a whole narrative. You could do fashion models. Think about, this is such a strong night photograph that it falls in so beautifully with this week's assignment. Guy, that was good. Oh my goodness, man. Really good. Gee, if I didn't give you, I told you, that's an 11, that's a banger, that's a G is him. Wow. Like, very good. Very good. It was very good, okay? Good, okay? Okay. All right, this is Ammon. Ammon says, Carty and crew, here's my assignment. I'm going to do this in my best Dr. Phil. Carty and crew, this is my assignment, okay? Been a busy week with my family and friends, but I just snuck in a shoot. Fuji X-T5, Viltrox 27, basically a 40, ISO 125, f6.4, okay? Shot with a V1 flash with a softbox and a grid, bounce held to the side. Learning lessons, charge the battery for the strobe and or get another battery. Also, get a plug-in one. Loving all your photos, Carty fam. So, Ammon is shooting with a battery-powered studio strobe, so he can go outdoors, indoors, but he needs more batteries with it. He needs more batteries, and he needs a plug-in system, so he can not be relying on batteries, which is, again, you only do that when you're on location. This is Ammon. Let's go. This is great. This is really, really strong. Look at it as a cover. Oops, that's the wrong graphic. Look at it as a cover. Really great. Like, great black and white. Like, very, very disciplined. I don't mind the pose. It's friendly. It's approachable. I asked you to shoot for a photo that you could use on your website. Small thing here with your framing. Just watch, like, that tolerance is too tight a tolerance. Give yourself more space, or just cut that whole thing off totally. Other than that, Ammon, I got no issues. The light on your face is amazing. Like, this is great. Like, great placement. You used really nice, like, butterfly lighting on you. Gave you nice, like, bro, this is really good. Really, really, really good. Ammon's in my masterclass. And again, you see the, like, the level difference of people who are A, coaching, B, in my masterclass. It's just like, and again, I'm not judging them any easier or harder. It's just like if someone's in my masterclass and that stuff that there is, you hear me actually yelling. Like you don't see me all smiles and blah blah blah. You see me like, dude, what are you doing? Like you see me get real serious. And again, I look at these photos for the first time during the photo reviews. So I never see the photos beforehand. So I don't pre-filter myself. You actually see me reacting exactly as it's the first time I'm seeing the photo, because I can give you my true, most purest, most honest reaction. And when that's disappointment, yo, Sugar, thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate you. Sugar. When that's disappointment, like when someone is mailing it in, when I know they're, and I never get upset with somebody who's it's the first time they're submitting, ever. The first time you're submitting, it sets the bar, okay? It sort of shows me where you are. You know what I mean? I need to know where you are. You know what I mean? But once you set the bar, meaning you tell me how good you are by showing me incredible photography, like once I see you blow my mind, like once that happens, once you hit an 11, you're not allowed to go below. You're not allowed. And if it because you're not progressing. You're now like a heart rate. You're like a heartbeat. Boop, boop. Like no consistency. You know what I mean? So I try to get you to the point where you're this consistent. And Ammon has been working this consistency for a minute. And he's one of the shooters that if I give him a self-portrait assignment, he is going to give me a usable portrait that it looks like someone else shot it. And that's what all his portraits are like. Look at his head angle. Look at it. Like it's just very flattering. He manages to photograph himself in a very flattering way, which is a skill. I do it. I shoot all my own thumbnails. Those are all my own. Those are all self-portraits, like all my thumbnails. So being able to shoot yourself in a flattering way, knowing your angles, knowing how you like to dress and that kind of stuff. It's like Ammon, always in a black button down. It's always like, it's very classic and I really like it. And Ammon, you're onto something, my guy. I'm telling you, you're one of those people. I'm going to just keep nudging until you have a YouTube channel. I'm going to keep nudging until you start making videos. I'm going to just keep nudging because you got it in you, man. I feel that. By the way, new light wand back there, if you like that. New monitor over here, which now has some stuff on there. So yeah, just trying to always constantly every week improve this set, make this set a little bit better. That camera position is not a little. There we go. So yeah, and getting used to where I have to sit in front of my desk so I'm all centered and stuff. It's all part that I'm working on. That is Ammon. By the way, everybody's Instagram account, if you want to follow everybody on Instagram, they all are in the submission folders. Everybody puts their Instagrams, but also I ask for Instagrams so I can post your stuff on our Instagram account. This is Joshua Hone. Golden Hour Self-Portrait, R6, 85, f2.8, 100 of a second at ISO 100. Joshua Hone. Let's go, Joshua. Thanks for submitting, Josh. Josh, I like this. This has got a vibe to it, man. The light is very sick. Very sick. I mean, the chin crop, just watch how tight. You heard me mention that earlier. Just watch where you're cropping on your chin. You could push the eye line a little bit higher. But the light, my guy, the light, like mixed light is so hard, but when you get it at the right time, you're able to get this. When you get mixed light at the right time, you're able to get this. Like just unbelievable. Like where the light is bouncing on the inside of the eyeball. Like this is just high art, Joshua. Like honestly, so good. Now, obviously, the way that this eye is cropped doesn't like, it's the nature of the photo, man. Like I'm not fighting it. This little shadow bit here, like I would take this out, you know, just do a little bit of posty and take that out. So your eye focuses more on that happening up here and not on it happening down here. So I would take that out, small little thing like that. But this is really, you swung for the fences, Hone. You swung for the fences, and I like that. I like that a lot. It's claustrophobic. It makes me uncomfortable. I like that too. This is like movie poster photography. Just watch this chin. Watch this chin so you're not like just radically cutting your chin off, but like, holy man, this is like a kick in the chest. Like and you're not smiling. You're not like in this light. You need to be like furrowed. You need to be serious as a heart attack. And you gave me that exact expression. Like this is on the button. Very well done. That's Joshua Hone. Well done. Photo submissions. Oh, Mack. Yo, Mack, you shooting with the R3, bro? You shooting with the R3? And isn't it a 24 to 105 lens? I don't think it's a 24 to 205. But Mack with the R3 shot and submitted, by the way, at 11:57 p.m. Submitted 3 minutes before deadline closes. Talk about cutting it close, Mack. Canon R3 shot with the EF 24 to 105, I'm going to assume, at 1/20th of a second. And F11 at ISO 400. Let's go, Mack. This is Marcus Mack, my 21-year-old prodigy in my masterclass. This guy is just a gem. You don't know how much of a gem this guy Marcus Mack is. This guy's a gem, and I'm going to turn this guy into a destroyer. Like, he's so good, he's so talented, and he's just very, like, professional is the bet. Like, he reminds me so much of a young me, because at 21, I had my first studio. I shot my first cover when I was 23. So I had already been published, and like I look at Marcus and I think about young Carty, man, honestly. And I'm gonna help this. I mean, I help everybody who decides to like reach out and extend themselves and be a part of like this whole thing that I'm doing here. This guy is in my masterclass. You listen, he's at every masterclass, at every check-in. He's there early. He stays till the very end. He asks questions and he implements every single thing I say. Every single thing. He has the support from his parents. He lives with his parents. He's 21 and he's just a good guy, man. I really like Marcus. And this is a picture, bro. This is a picture. You just have to watch your eye line. I think your eye line is a little too centered. It's a little bit too it's too much in the center of the frame is what I'm trying to say. Like it doesn't need to go across like right here, like dead center, where it's leaving us too much headroom. We have tons of headroom here. And on horizontals, we don't have to worry about masthead because it's a horizontal. If this was a vertical, I would say your headspace, perfect. But because it's a horizontal, now I'm saying levy up a little bit, okay? But look at the crop. The crop is perfect. Your exposure is a little low though, Marcus. I want your exposure to be like plus, I'm gonna say half a stop, plus, which is 0.5 on the scale. Okay, so bring your exposure up just a touch. But I mean, look at the sharpness. R3, I mean, I shoot R5. This guy shoots with a more expensive camera than I do. So you can see at 21, he's completely invested into his career. So, And even look at this crop, Marcus, as a photo. Like, look at this. Just, oops, wrong thing. Let's push out that way. Let me do a little free crop here for you. Look at this crop right there. Look at that crop from that same image. I mean, I don't need to show that. Let me hide me. So for me, you can see it's just a touch dark, but it's such a banger. Like, and again, the more the confidence in your eyes, the confidence in your look, it's just, you're on the button, dude. This is really, really close. And for me, an absolute banger. That's Marcus Mack, who's got one of the coolest photographer names going. Marcus Mack. Let's go, baby. And our last, Scuba Steve. Scuba Steve had some problems submitting, which is why I see that this is at 12:03, because we closed the submission folders at midnight the night before. So here's my submission. This was a hard one and down to the wire. R6 Mark II, 1/250th of a second, 5.6 at ISO 100. This is Scuba Steve. Let's go, Scuba Steve. Thanks for submitting. Yeah, I like it. I like the depth that you created with the like the background, the way that you have two different backgrounds happening in order to create like this depth. This is kind of what I would have liked to have seen Tom do. Tom Fox earlier, he was leaning against a wall, and then there was a whole different scene, and then there was a horizon line, and then there was a parking lot down here. And you can see now with the same composition, pretty much exactly the way that Steve did it. It's like he removed all the distractions by shooting it in the studio and managed to create basically the exact same composition, but in a way that works, in a way that is usable, in a way that can go right into his social media, in a way that he's trying to build trust, he's trying to show confidence, he's trying to show technical ability. So Steve, for me, this is an 11 out of 10, my guy. This is not even a question. This is an absolute perfect picture for what I asked you to do. This is solving the brief. This is filling the brief. This is also adding another photograph of you that you took yourself that you can use right away. And also sharpness, discipline, exposure, expression, like every single thing that I've been like sort of pointing out of like, oh, you got to watch this, you got to watch this. It's like, Steve, you put it all in one photo. So that is your photos submitted and reviewed. 2.5 hours. I'm going to take a moment to choose my favorite photos for the year. My favorite photos for the night. What we'll call them, my photos of the week then, you know? We'll call them my photos of the week. I'm going to do that. I will be back in 3 seconds. As a photographer, your portfolio is your voice in a visually crowded market. But are you confident that it's telling your story in the way that you intend? Many photographers struggle with showcasing their work effectively, often overlooking the power of a well-crafted portfolio. This is where my one-on-one portfolio review comes in. I'm offering you expert, personalized feedback on your work. With my 3 decades experience in pro photography, I bring you a discerning eye to your portfolio, helping you refine and package your work to make a lasting impact. We'll dive into the nuances of your style, the strengths of your composition, and the overall narrative of your portfolio in general. My focus will be on elevating your work, ensuring that it not only represents your skill, but also captivates an intended audience. Don't let your work go unnoticed. Sign up for a one-on-one portfolio review and let's fine-tune your presentation to the world. You'll come away with concrete steps to enhance your portfolio, making it not just a collection of pictures, but a powerful tool to elevate your photography career. Book your session right now, and let's take the first step towards making your portfolio as amazing as your photography. Well, try not to make this too hard for me, eh? Try not to make this too hard for me. Jeez, I wish these submissions were worse. Why not make them worse? Because it makes it so much easier makes it so much easier for me to like just do what I'm doing right now. I'm actually at this point, it's like so many photographers knocked this out of the park. So many killed this assignment so hard, like murked this assignment so hard that it's almost like I don't know if it's like if I can give this many photos of the week. I've never had an episode of self-portraits where I've wanted to give as many photos of the week as I have opened in my directory right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 photos. Half, basically, of my submitters. Half. I am just absolutely like flabbergasted by the quality, and I'm just gonna start from the top. I'm gonna just start from the top and just go through your photos of the week, and stay to the end, and I'll tell you what this week's assignment is. Okay, here we go. Photo of the week, Joshua Hone. Let's go, Joshua. Unbelievable. Incredible photo. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. Marcus Mack. Photo of the week. Congratulations, Marcus. Photo of the week. Incredible. Stephen C. Yes, somebody had a question. Storm Coming gifted a membership. Yo, Storm Coming. When did that happen, guy? When did that happen? When did you go and gift a membership, my guy? Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that for gifting the membership. Thank you. Storm Coming. Appreciate you. Gifted membership. Where were we? Marcus Mack. Photo of the week. Congratulations, Marcus. Just flabbergasted this week. Long time coming for this guy to come back to us. Photo of the week, Mike Frost. Carty seal of approval. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. If this guy it's gonna actually be easier to count the weeks that this one doesn't win photo of the week than it is to count the weeks that you do. Photo of the week. Donna MK. Photo of the week. Unbelievable. Photo of the week. What you want? What you trying to time warp me for? Photo of the week, Donna MK. Let's go, Dana. Wow. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. Storm Coming. Photo of the week. Excellently executed portrait. Don't think just because I'm calling you on your post-production, I don't see you, Storm Coming. I see you. You deserve it. Photo of the week. Congratulations.
I can't believe this list. I can't believe this list of the photographers that like just blew me away. I just want to make sure I don't blow any names. Here we go. Next, photo of the week. His name is Colin from Arresting Photos. His first self-portrait ever. Incredible portrait. Congratulations, Colin. Photo of the week. This guy. Photo of the week goes to Mike Lilly right here. Photo of the week. Unbelievable, Mike. Incredible idea for a self-portrait. Just almost like just frustratingly good. You know? Frustratingly good. Very, very, very well executed. That's Mike Lilly. Crazy, right? This guy's level 26 in the Discord already. Level 26, where does this guy come from? This guy's the most active, like, the most helpful, the most important, like, this guy, like, dude, photo of the week, man. This guy. His name is Kerix Williams. Jason. Photo of the week, my guy, with this expression. Let's go. Photo of the week. So good. So good. And they keep coming. This guy. Like, another one from the masterclass. This guy. Andre Gray. Photo of the week. Let's go. Like, where have you guys been? Where you been? Like, this is the self-portrait assignment. This is where you guys are all supposed to fail. This is where you guys are all supposed to go scurry away with your tails between your legs and be like, oh, I don't want to be in front of the camera. Like, what's happening here? Who are you people? All of a sudden, I'm getting some of the best photography I've seen, and they're self-portraits. What is happening? Holy. It keeps coming. Your next photo of the week. This guy, his name, Sean Thomas. Photo of the week. Clever, brave, and our next submission from this guy is going to be a whole different person. Look at this. What a photo. What a photo. And I had great time with this guy on Sean Thomas coming and hanging out with me in person. Well done. Photo of the week, Sean. I'm actually saving this one. Saving that one too. Photo of the week. So, like, Scuba Steve. Like, just get out your textbook. You know what I mean? Get out your textbook, star. Scuba Steve. Photo of the week. This guy with his self-portraits. This guy. And, you know, sadly, looking at the self-portraits this week, this was a male-dominated situation where all the photographers that, like, really dominated were male, which is telling me, the females, like, I know how talented you are, girl who's watching me right now. I know how talented. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen it. Many of you maybe didn't make the deadline. Maybe of you, I'm going to give you another opportunity because there's an assignment that's about to come. I have 2 more photos of the week winners. 2 more. Oh, look at that. I get balloons. Did you guys see those balloons or was that just me? I guess you saw it because it was in OBS. Our next photo of the week winner, guys. I can't believe how many there were. This goes to Ammon for this photo right here. Photo of the week, Ammon. Congratulations. Like, your consistency is through the roof. Very happy with you. Very happy with you. Vicky, don't be sad. Vicky, don't be sad. Don't be sad. What you need to know, Vicky, is this. My standards for your self-portraits are so high
my standard for your self-portraits are so high, and you have won so many photos of the week for your self-portraits. You've won so many photos of the week for your photography. Like, if something is not at your level, it can't win. It can't. And also, look at the photographs that you're fighting against. It was a tough week, Vicky. And look how many I still picked. So, don't be sad. Just know like the next one you make is going to be nuts. So, again, can't give it to everybody, Vicky. Come on. This is winners and losers. And your last photos of the week. Fast, last. A photo that just... G is him. Congratulations. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guys, those are the photos of the week. Congratulations, everybody who won. If you didn't win, you were close to winning. I promise you. Every one of these decisions are difficult. And I could have slashed 3/4 of the ones that I gave photo of the week and nitpicked the hell out of all of them and made it so no, it's not fair. That's not what I do here. It's about enabling. So if I think, even when I started by saying there's only going to be one photo of the week every week, I can't, because I'm giving my seal of approval. That's what a photo of the week is. It's you're getting my seal of approval. So sometimes there's more than one. In fact, I'm actually sad when there is only one that gets my seal of approval. That's when I'm disappointed. That's when you'll see me like, there's 2 photos of the week, this one and this one, goodbye. Click. Like, that's when you see me actually upset. Because you guys have seen it. You've seen it. You've seen me do that. You've seen me just pissed off and end my stream, and I go outside and I start cursing, and I'm like, because I'm so passionate about seeing your progress. It's kind of funny. And if you're progressing downwards, that makes me crazy. Guys, that was a podcast. I hope you felt but you want an assignment, so I'm going to give it to you. This week's assignment, if you choose to do it, is I am taking 2 elements of difficulty and I'm smashing them together for one assignment for you. There are many photographers in this pool of photographers that submitted that already did this in their photograph, but they don't know that I'm adding it. Now it's proving that it can be done by all the people who just submitted photographs. I am making 2 assignments in one. Number 1 part of this assignment, night photography. We are shooting at night. It is time for us to go outside because it's warm enough. We can actually go outside at night and not die. Night photography. Element 1. Element 2, a second element. Here's some ideas. Self-portrait at night. Portrait photography at night. Fashion photograph at night. Product photography outside at night. Lifestyle photography outside at night. I do not want you to take pictures. I want you to concept, execute, scout a location, and create. If you have to light, LED light, strobe lights outside, I don't care. But what you do need to do is combine niche with night. And that's how I'm going to define it. Niche at night. Whatever your niche is, you are doing it outdoors, on location, in the darkness. That is your assignment. I would like these vertical, please. I would like these vertical. I'm not going to give you a stipulation. Yes, question. Ask away. I'm not going to leave it open to horizontal or vertical. Or should I? Here's the deal. I'm going to make it a little easier. I'm going to allow you to make it a horizontal or a vertical photo. I don't care. How about this? I don't care whether it's a horizontal or a vertical photo. But if it's a vertical photo, it better follow all the rules of a vertical, including cover, including space for the masthead, including all of that. If it's a horizontal if I see one thing dropping on the gutter, I'm going to lose my marbles, because I'm giving you a wider brief. But if I give you that wider brief and I see cameras hanging on the center act, really think about this. The level of difficulty of this assignment is high. I'm asking for your niche, executed at night, which means artificial light, which means existing light, which means LED, which means something. Make a picture that makes me throw up a little bit in my mouth. That's what I want to see. I want to see you guys do something that's hard. And by the way, start tomorrow. Start right now. It's night right now. Start right now. Because this is something that you might have to do again and again. You might have to go outside and scout. Start that way. Scout locations. That's your first day. Next day you go out. Now you're like doing some tests and seeing what, like, I want this to be hard. I want this to be hard because the work that comes out of this spawns a whole new thing with photography that you do. Shooting at night is one of my it's one of my happy places. I went out and shot at night recently, like 2 days ago, or last night when there was like insane fog. I went out and I shot at night. And I mean, sadly, like I have to like email those photos to myself. I haven't really shared them anywhere, and we're at the end of the episode. I've been going for almost 3 hours. I don't want to like open up Lightroom and now show you all my night photography, but do me a favor. Take this seriously. It's going to change your reality. Shooting at night is my favorite type of personal work. I love it. I go out at like 3 o'clock in the morning and there's nobody. And you can make the most insane long shutter speed tripod like photo. Like, it's the best. So niche at night. Okay. I have high expectations. Somebody is going to win best in show. Some people are going to win photos of the week. And I got to tell you, for show, some people are going to be creating portfolio pictures during this assignment that they never thought possible. Try hard. Guys, that was today's show. Please have a look at my video description. There's so much gold inside my video description right down here. All you need to do is open it, expand it, and look and see all the free tools that I have, the free guides that I have. There's like all my digital tools that I sell, my sponsors, like my merch. You can there's so many different ways that you can support and keep this thing going. If you want this show to keep going, the most important thing that you can do is subscribe to this channel and join the Discord. The Discord is the place. That's where everybody floods right now. Vicky would be so mad at me if I didn't mention this Instagram account. Vicky loses her marbles because when I mention the Instagram account, first of all, by the way, follow me on Instagram at Steve Carty. That's me right there. But BTP with Carty, meaning behind the picture with Carty, which you see right here, that's our viewer Instagram account, meaning your pictures. If you want photos of the week, you're going to see your photos in this Instagram account. So make sure you're followed there. Also, my Substack. I send out information on how to be a pro every Saturday. Like clockwork. I've been doing it for 65 weeks in a row. I haven't missed a single Saturday. So follow A Life Behind the Camera. Please look at the Carty Method, which is my education site. Sign up for Indie. Jason will tell you, like, there's so many people who've signed up for Indie now who are like getting contract templates and all this great stuff and invoicing and all that stuff, snap, and getting paid on a dime. And yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope today brought you value. I love you lots. Thanks for watching. 3 hours, baby. 3 hours. I'm dedicated to you. I hope you're dedicated to me and this whole learning system. I don't know a lot of photography YouTubers that are doing 3-hour live streams trying to help strangers become better photographers. But if this made value and made sense for you, please share this channel. There's no way that I'm ever going to hit 1 million subscribers, or even 20,000 for that matter, if you don't make clips and share my content. Making clips is how people find out about me. Imagine you make a clip, you share it to your network, and I get 20 new followers from your network. So share me. If this is helping you, help me help some more people. By the way, if you became a subscriber over the last little while, you will see your name scrolling across the bottom. I show my last 25 subscribers like Shauna V. Love and Tony De Niro and Daniel Wagner, Lakita Willis, Bruce Wall, Ethan A. Of course, my OGs, the people who are the true believers, are the members of this channel, and you're going to see their names scrolling across the top. I have crowns that I give them because they are the kings and queens of this channel. They have crowns next to their name in chat. Thank a member because they are the reason that you just had 3 hours of commercial-free content. It is because of the members of this channel that I'm able to do this. Please consider becoming a member so we can keep this ship going. I love you all.